Do you want a system that brings you more listings, more buyers, and more referrals without posting on social media and chasing cold leads? If that's the case, you are in the right place. This is Email Marketing Mastery for real estate agents. And in this course, I'm going to show you step by step how to use email to build trust, automate follow-up, and generate consistent leads every single month. And most agents are doing this completely backwards. They're pouring hours into Instagram and Facebook while ignoring the tool that could quietly make them 6 figures a year. And that tool? Email. It's the most profitable marketing channel on the planet. So why don't more agents use it right? Because nobody ever showed them how. In this course, I'm going to walk you through everything you need to know to build an email system that actually works, whether you're a brand new agent or have 10 plus years of experience. And I'm not just going to tell you what to do, I'm going to show you how to do it. And over the years, I have helped manage thousands of emails, from automated nurture campaigns to newsletters that generate real results. And now, I've packed everything that I've learned into this course for you, so you can stop guessing and finally build a system that scales with you. In this first video, we're going to lay the foundation. You will learn why email still outperforms social, ads, and cold calling, why your email list is the most valuable marketing asset you own, and the psychology that gets people to open, read, and click, even in a crowded inbox. These are the basics, but they're also the game changers. And this is the 20% of email marketing that creates 80% of your results. In the next videos, we're going to cover how to build your strategy from scratch, what to actually write in your emails, how to automate your entire system, and how to choose the best sending schedule, including 2 proven cadences you can copy today. I'll even give you 18 custom ChatGPT prompts and downloadable email templates that you can start using right away. No overthinking, no blank screens for you. Everything is step by step. Everything is beginner friendly. And everything is 100% built for real estate. Now, let's kick off the stat that changed everything for me. An interesting statistic about this is if we're building a money printing machine, which is exactly what marketing is, every $1 in results in $36 out for an optimized email campaign. Now, that's across e-commerce, that's across real estate, that's across local service, but it shows a very powerful statement here. That is a 3,600% ROI. There is not a single other thing that you could do and try to replicate that is going to get you those results. And when we look at it in terms of all of your social media platforms, your ad spend, you have hours and time involved in doing this. And you could hire someone out at anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000 plus per month. Email is something that can be done for a fraction of the cost. And this is what the goal is for all of your social media and all of your ads, is to get an email list, to build a contact database that you own. We look at real estate is a relationship business, and email is the most scalable way to nurture relationships over time. So when we look at email, why is an email list an absolute goldmine? Well, I'll tell you, with social media, this is a borrowed audience. You don't actually own them. This right here is a rented audience. You are paying to have access to it. Email is the only audience that you own it yourself. This is something that you can take with you. As Instagram, as Facebook changes over time, the algorithm changes, a new type of technique comes out, those things can have an impact on what you're doing with your business and how you can actually build that. With Google and Meta ads, that's rented. As AI starts to change the space, as more and more people jump into these things, it gets more and more costly to still be in the game. But when we look at email, this is something that is a very quick and easy setup and delivery. So when we look at the email list funnel, we just want to look at the most powerful thing that we can do with email. And the most powerful thing is to leverage your referrals. Your own internal sphere of influence, your own network, that is the most powerful thing that you can do. And we should be seeing that 60% of our business should be coming from our referral network, that sphere of influence. 40% should be generated through cold calling, new lead generation strategies, YouTube, social media, advertising. That's where that should come from. What email does is it kind of bridges that gap between the 40% and the 60%. But when we look at email, if we can focus on building that database, building an organized contact list, and we have, let's say, even 1,000 in our entire sphere of influence. Maybe that's too high. Maybe you're thinking, I only have 100 contacts right now. That is totally fine. We want to be seeing metrics of 1 to 3% per year converting from your email list. So if we take 1,000 and we have, let's say, 100 actual conversations over the course of a year that have stemmed from that email, or let's take it even less and let's say we only have 10 conversations that come from email and 1 new conversion, and let's say that the commission rate is anywhere from 8 to 20K on this deal. A one-time setup for the email process that we're going to get into has far exceeded the ROI. And if you spend a total of $1,000 in the next year to generate $8,000 to $20,000, that's incredible. But what you're going to see, and when we dive into this more in a little bit, is that emails that we are sending are completely different than what people are used to seeing. They're used to seeing very templated type of emails coming from brokerages about these are the new lists, these are the things that you should do, these are the home buying tips, this is what's hot in our market. The emails that we send out are extremely personalized, and it feels like you took the time to reach out to them one-on-one. But I don't want to get too far ahead of myself there. Your database isn't just marketing, it is equity. This is the database you own. That contact list is what you own yourself. I want to really hit on that before we move to the next section here. When we talk about setting up why email is important, we need to understand what makes people click and read and reply to those emails. And so when we look at it, it's not just words on paper, you're actually triggering human behavior. And this is exactly how it works. The biggest thing for you is you want to be building that reciprocity. That reciprocity is absolutely huge. You want to give value. You want to always be thinking about just giving value. Put yourself in their shoes. Write the email to that one individual person and give value, market tips, insights, resources. Stop trying to just constantly sell yourself. If you're just a good person, it's going to pay off in the end. So start thinking about other people and how you can actually give value to them. The next thing is consistency. So you want to show up regularly. You want to build that trust over time. And I've got an interesting study here, is that majority of people are moving or looking to move or acquire every 3 to 5 years. And so when we look at consistency over time, we can build this out in a way for us to understand why email and why some of these other touch points are so important. Now, a lot of real estate coaches, they will say that there should be one phone call, text message, or email sent to your entire database per month. Every single month, there should be at least one. 90% of real estate agents are not doing that. And so when we look at that metric, and then we also look at every 3 to 5 years, people are looking at moving or acquiring new properties, whatever that looks like. Let's say that this is when someone buys a property with you. So this is at year 0. And then over here is at year 5. In terms of your overall awareness with this person, you hit an all-time high when you are closing on that property, regardless if it's selling or buying. You are what people think of when they're eating dinner at night. When they wake up in the morning, they're sending you a text or a phone call or an email. You are constantly on their mind, as this is a very stressful time in someone's life. But after that sale is done, we see a massive drop from overall awareness to where at around the 5-year mark, they remember that it may have been a good experience, but you're no longer top of mind like you used to be. And the same thing is true when you are actually prospecting and you're trying to steal a new lead, right? Around 40 to 60% of people use the same agent from the past. So what is that other 40% doing? They use an agent that they worked with in the past, and then 3 to 5 years goes by and they're kind of open and someone slips in at the right time. So what that looks like is on the bottom here, there's really no awareness, but around the 3 to 4 year mark is when we see a spike in awareness. And this is when some referral opportunities is in that 3 to 5 year range. But like I said, 90% of agents, they stop all communication after this, after the first few months after the sale. They don't continue it on over time. And so if you just build in that metric itself and stay in front of people over time, it doesn't matter when your recent client, Paul, his cousin becomes a real estate agent, because you've been nurturing him for the last 5 years. You've had multiple calls with him that have stemmed from emails. So when he does make that decision, you're the one that's there. And that's why consistency is so important in real estate and so important in any business in general. The next thing is authority. So when we are in people's email inboxes, when we share information the way that we're going to go over in the next video, we build authority. We become that subject expert. So again, we go back to this illustration. It doesn't matter that Paul has a cousin that just became a real estate agent and wants to support him. This is a stressful transaction, a stressful step in his life journey. He's going to pick the agent that's going to do the job well. He doesn't want the new agent, right? And that's what we want to showcase, is that subject matter expertise. We want to build that authority. And then the last thing is personalization. We want to make every single email feel like it was constructed for them and only for them. And now we have ways of doing this at scale and being able to automate that process. But it's really important that you continue to stay in front of your clients and your new leads and your cold leads and your referral opportunities. It's very important that you continue to build a system where you stay in front of them and make it personal, like you have taken the time out of your day to personally care about that person. So that is exactly what makes people click, read, and reply. Over time, as you build that up, you're not going to have every single email read by every single person. But over time, you're positioning yourself to be in the right place, in the top of their mind when they are ready to make that decision and start to transact. Now, let's break down why email crushes other channels. Email builds compounding trust over time, and building awareness is something that you have worked so hard to gain, so you can't lose it by not having emails. So let's look at the different channels, and we kind of talked about this a little bit. The overall cost is the absolute lowest for email. Absolute lowest. Medium for social media, medium to high for YouTube, definitely medium for cold call, and paid ads is high. Now, you may say that, oh, I'm doing social media myself, it's free. No, it's not free, it's time. It takes time. And if you were to hire someone to step in as the editor and the poster and the content ideation and the scripting, and if you were actually going to scale that thing and put out the right content with professional videography, that costs money. So if you're bootstrapping it, no, it's not free. It costs you time, which is money in a real estate business. Same thing for YouTube. I would say it's even higher. It's much harder to get started in YouTube when you were just starting out with no experience being on camera. Cold calling takes time. So that's why I say that these right here are medium cost. Email, it's a one-time setup, and it's a maintenance over time. That's what email is. It is the easiest, lowest cost method, lowest time method out there. Relationship building is the biggest, and I'll tell you exactly why. Because every email that you send, or majority of emails that you send, are going to end in their inbox. That is not the case for social media and YouTube. You could have YouTube subscribers, you could have social media followers. For Instagram and Facebook, only 5 to 10% of people will see your posts that are following your account. And that's a very big metric to understand, because when we put that much into growing that following, and maybe we say we only have 1,000 followers, what is that metric? 5% are only seeing your videos, and how many are actually staying to watch it? And that kind of goes into how you actually build out that stuff, and that is a separate video there. And it's kind of talking over. Reach is the biggest, because as you build this contact list, every single person you come into contact with in this industry joins your database, joins your CRM, and they're going to get emails from you over time, because every single contact is absolutely important for you. Overall reach, like I said, for social and YouTube is very hard to break into at the start. Social media as well. The followings are small. The actual reach that you get is small. Cold calling, that's your reach is as much as you want to scrape and as much as you want to call. And the paid ads is good reach, but again, it is very expensive. That's big deal there. Longevity, long-term in the aspect of the long-term benefit. This is a long-term play. This is not a quick fix. We're going to start sending emails and we're going to start closing deals. Now that does happen in some cases, but this is a long-term play of that 3 to 5 year game of we want to stay in front of these people. Now there's real estate agents that start a newsletter, and month 3 they're already bringing in new clients from their newsletter. That happens. That's something longevity-wise to think about in terms of long-term. But when we talk about longevity, the important thing here to consider is that it's easy to stay with email long-term. You build out the automations and you set and forget. We build out one email right here, and we're going to continue to use this email over time. But we build out one template for a listing, and we're going to continue to just copy paste, and it takes 5 minutes to do, 5 minutes a month, and you're able to automate this process. Longevity for social media, short-lived. It's very hard. 99% of people quit in the first year. And that's why 1% of people on social media have more than 10,000 followers, because those people stuck with it. It's a hard thing. Longevity for YouTube, same thing. Usually people that commit to YouTube are a little bit more committed than they are social media, because there's camera equipment involved, there's scripting, there's a whole thought process that's even deeper than social media. For cold calling, it's a one-time thing. And so we're talking longevity here in terms of it's one time as far as how many times you can actually push this in front of someone. But it's also one time in you only want to do this when you're early in your career. You don't want to continue to cold call the rest of your life in real estate. That's not a fun career to get, to continue and to get into. And then longevity for ads is none. As soon as you turn it off, it's done, right? There's no longevity there. There's no long-term strategy of staying in front of people. So next, we're just going to cover exactly how these different channels work. And the goal for social media, the goal for YouTube, the goal for ads, the goal for cold calling, and the goal for the Joker card. I'm putting it down as wild card for billboards, mailers, radio, newspaper, all of those different methods. The goal is for you to have a new client, right? That 10% in the market that's ready to go right now, that is the goal. But when that doesn't happen, what is the goal? The goal is to add them to a list. The goal is you've already done the work here. Why are you just getting rid of that? Why are you giving up on that? The goal is to add them to that email list and then hit them with a phone call every quarter. Hit them SMS message every month. Hit them with several emails per month, right? That is the goal, and that's how you stay in front of those people that you work so hard to get. And you're not just following up. You are positioning yourself as the agent they think of when it's time to move. That is the goal of the email strategy. That's everything that we're working towards right now. So now that you understand why email marketing is non-negotiable for real estate, but now it's time to get into the how. In the next video, we're going to build your email marketing strategy from the ground up. What goals to set, how to plan content, and then choose the right tools. And trust me, once you have your strategy dialed in, everything else gets easier. We just covered a lot with email, and I just want to forewarn you here that you don't need to send emails every day. You don't need to sound like a guru with your emails. You just need to show up consistently with value. And your email list is more than just names. It's your warm audience, your future closings. Treat it like the business asset that it is, and it's going to pay you back for years. I'll see you in video 2.